Hey, thank you for letting me tune in, ladies and gentlemen. Coronado Warpayers on the global market, your stakeholder. About 10-year, 15-year, 30-year corporate, private and public. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I know a very special man of the Lord. And he had to deliver a sermon, ladies and gentlemen, to a lot of people that was devastated by natural disaster. A lot of them ripped their home out the foundation and all that stuff. They had nowhere to go. And they say he took his time and he he went out there and he found a way to just perfect that sermon. He couldn't wait to get in there, help those people that were distressed and out of it and just totally dilapidated, just like the property, right? But he said on this day, members of the congregation, they was making more noises and unorthodox sounds and doing things with their tongue and stuff and moaning and groaning. He said they never listened to anything like that in their life. He said he couldn't deliver the sermon. You know what I'm saying? He said a lot of the people that was visiting, they kept turning around. They didn't know what the heck was going on. Why are they moaning and making all those noises and stuff? You know, stuff like that. Hey, you know. They said they never experienced that before. And they wanted to be educated. Is it something that they didn't know that they needed to know to participate or help? Or is it something that they're not doing to get the full, you know, they wanted to get the full, I guess, experience out of the experience. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, I guess he never told them that they couldn't, like, you know. He never really told them that they couldn't make those noises before. Like that time they really escalated it. You know, not necessarily in the Cadillac, but that time they really pushed it to the limit. You know what I'm saying? Because there were visitors there. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of time, ladies and gentlemen, if your parents are disciplinarians, they show enough discipline you when the company's there. You know what I'm saying? They show enough. I'm talking about they can get a domestic charge. Because they already beat you up pretty bad. They already are due multiple abuse and domestic charges. You know what I'm saying? But nobody's ever filed and tried to convict them. But now that they're visitors, ooh, babe, I'm talking about some of them have been maimed and dismembered. That's how bad their parents beat them up when company comes in. I just want you to think about it from the other side. That these unbridled members of this church, lady, they never been disciplined before. Pastor never really came down on them and said, "Stop making all that noise when I'm trying to deliver my sermon." They said some people just left because they didn't know what they thought it was, some type of ritual or something that they was gonna miss out on or panic or have a heart attack if they didn't hurry up and participate. But nevertheless, lady, he just said, it kind of seemed like the people was taken away from the message, you know what I'm saying? Like they wanted to get up there and preach. You know, like they was telling him when to preach high and low, when to use emphasis, you know, when you're making a good point, when you're lying, you know. He said even there were times they was making noise when they was trying to make the audience seem like he's telling a lie. And then they made noise, it's like, okay, he's telling the truth. That's a good point. But nevertheless, ladies, now the reason why I'm using this parable is because sometimes people don't usually pay you any attention or acknowledge you, and when it's too late, you know what I'm saying? And then when they do it, they use too much force. You see what I'm saying? They do it to the point where they trying to take credit away from you. You know what I'm saying? They gonna make it seem like, you know, this guy don't have no home training. He don't know how to tell us to shut up. You see what I'm saying? And they're adults, you know what I'm saying? They're adults, you see what I'm saying? They already know they're supposed to shut up. You know what I'm saying? But they saying if you was a good leader, you'd tell us to be quiet. And then if he told them to be quiet, they say, who do you think you're talking to? We pay the bills around here. You see what I'm saying? In some situations, ladies and gentlemen, when you're about to make it to superstardom, there are going to be plenty of wolves and coyotes and Loch Ness monsters and Frankensteins to stop you. You know what I'm saying? Some people, they feel like they was born to stop you. You know what I'm saying? They don't want you to make it. They don't want you to go no farther. You know what I'm saying? They want to stop you from making it. And sometimes they'll do, when I tell you they'll do